Continue to work. We've got an update on Antonio Brown, one of the most bizarre things we have seen at an NFL game in some time. During the middle of the third quarter, Brown taking off his gear, throwing it into the stands, walking away from his team on the sidelines, doing whatever this is in the end zone, going into the tunnel and putting up deuces.
You are now tuned in to Straight Facts, where you won't hear our imagination. We state facts. Presented by Currency, Supreme Entertainment. Like, share, comment, follow.
Back at it again, Straight Facts. Now we got a question for the panel. Recently on Sunday, yesterday, NFL game where Tampa Bay Buccaneers were playing the Jets. Former receiver Antonio Brown was seen walking off the field, taking off his jersey, taking off his gloves and throwing it peace signs to the fans. And basically we found out from Bruce Arians that he's no longer a Buc. What are y'all thoughts on that situation?
Emotional. Antonio Brown.
But why? I think that's the narrative that's always painted on.
Exactly. But he's showing it. Has he not shown it?
Is the world surprised of what happened?
But you know what the thing is? It's only shown through one view. Has Antonio Brown spoken?
The other thing, it's like the Kawhi Leonard situation. Remember when Kawhi Leonard was in San Antonio, and
Yes.
the way he was basically the whole entire time people were talking about, Kawhi Leonard doing A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, Kawhi was making sure his number one investment, his body, was being taken care of. He refused to play until his body was right, and then when he came back, the Raptors, before they won that championship year, he said, I'm not playing any back-to-backs. Here are the conditions, here are the terms of how I'm going to play to make sure I can heal okay. Unfortunately, because of Antonio Brown's situation, he didn't have the leverage of being able to dictate how he wants to play or when he wants to play. Mind you, his career should dictate him being able to say, I'm a better receiver with these are my stats, these are my accolades. I should be all things considered, should be a Hall of Fame player. You take away all of his off-the-field stuff. But I think it's a shame that, he obviously was hurt. He felt like he shouldn't have having to play because of his injury status, and I think that was a game where the Bucs didn't even need it. It wasn't a game where the Bucs needed to.
Oh, they were losing in the game. They were losing.
No, but I mean, like if they lost, they weren't going to not make the playoffs.
No, for sure. But every game counts. But what the problem is like what you're mentioning on Kawhi Leonard. I feel like the narrative is like based off what Antonio Brown has done in the past. He's being held as a scapegoat for any type of thing that happens. He's always the problem. But at the end of the day, like these owners don't care about your health. As soon as they find that you're not good, you're damaged goods. They cut you. They get rid of you, right? So if Antonio Brown is looking out for his investment, knowing that if he goes into a game and he's injured and then he plays and he'll be even worse, he has a wife, he has family, you know what I mean? He has kids. Why would he risk and jeopardize his life when football's not for long? Like, you see how many people had issues with the CT scans and all that stuff with the physical.
That's
There's a
very
reason
real.
why they're changing the sport and the reason why like you have to protect yourself as a player.
He's not a big guy either.
No, not at all.
He's not 6'4", 280
and
pounds.
he's the one that's going to be receiving the hits because he's catching the ball, not knowing who's coming from the blind side, and he's not that tall. And at the end of the day, he's past 30-something years old, so he's taking a lot of hits. So at the end of the day, he got to protect himself. I think the issue is that as a black player individual, he's always being seen as a negative, as a drama, when at the end of the day, like, he's just looking out for his best interests. Just like everybody, the NFL, the Bucs, they're all looking for their best interests. If Tom Brady can't play, are they going to replace him? By all means. Are they going to say, yeah, we'll wait for you to come back, Tom? Maybe, but they have to find plan B. So I think that the way that they handled the situation, it's sad that they have to go out that way, but I think we need to hear AB speak. But I hope they don't turn him into a Kaepernick situation where they just blackball him, because the way that the media is already jumping on him, saying that AB's a cancer and a problem, they haven't even had an interview.
You've been saying that since Pittsburgh.
I know, but it just adds on to it, right? Yeah. What are your thoughts, Jim?
So again, as he mentioned, they were saying it since Pittsburgh that he was a cancer. So this emotional AB, we've been seeing that, and teams don't necessarily have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Remember what happened in New England?
Yeah, so like we're talking millions of dollars.
But what did he do last year? He was a big factor in that Super Bowl championship,
yeah.
right? So he surpassed his antics, and he was good for you last year when you needed him, right? And then when he's injured now, Now he's no longer abused. That's my point.
Yeah,
of
but
slave mentality.
there's a way to conduct yourself.
Yeah,
Even if
yeah.
you're not happy, you don't have to do a toddler tantrum, right? You're a professional.
On live
You've got
TV,
kids.
man.
You're
What
in
if
your
you find
30s.
out? What if you find out the situation was, what if there was a situation where he literally had a concussion, it was a brain injury, and he was not feeling too confident about going back on the field? And what if the coaches were like, we don't care about how you feel, get on the field right now. We need you right now. We're down 7 points. We need you to run this play. We need you to score.
And that's where AB's got to speak.
And then wait.
Because right now it's all speculation.
And then, but this is my point, is why is everyone so quick? It's like, they always say you're innocent until proven guilty. But here's another situation, another circumstance where just by being a black man that you're guilty before you being able to have to prove your innocence by your automatic guilt by being involved in the situation. So I just think it's a shame that we don't give him the benefit of the doubt to be able to speak his side. Yeah, we can talk about how he left wasn't cool, but at the end of the day, we also got to think about how he was handled on the sideline by his organization and what led him, a veteran player, to take off his equipment in the middle of a game and leave, full well knowing what the ramifications of that means. Like, as an NBA player, same thing as taking off your jersey and your shorts in the middle of an arena and walking out. Like, if you do that in the middle of a publicly televised game, especially when it's a close game, something has to have happened to make it.
But is it fair that he might lose the benefit of the doubt? You bring up that he's black. I'm black. I understand we face racism all the time and stigma. And we know how the NFL looks at blacks. But at the end of the day, what really happened, right? Was it really because right now we're not being fair to him, or we're just going with the precedent and the history that we have on AB, which is sometimes could be a little extra.
Let me ask you a question. In every story, there's what?
There's two sides. And there's
three sides.
the truth. It's actually three sides.
Okay.
You're right.
Three sides.
Okay.
You're right.
So what side is being promoted right now?
Right now, speculation.
But it's based off of the team.
The NFL, the
and
team
NFL.
side.
So no reporter. They know how to find AB because they can find
He
information.
doesn't
They know
want
where
to
he
speak.
is.
He probably doesn't want to speak.
No, you can still find him. TMZ can go look for him.
But is he going to open his mouth?
Nobody wants to find him. That's what I'm saying.
Is that, look, this is another thing you got to remember is that, it's a story that sells. News channels, news agencies, TMZs love to report on anything that's going to get people to click, because we're in a click type society. You get clicks for the many clicks you get, the more money you get. So of course we all know a 15-second clip of Antonio Brown leaving a stadium, waving in the middle of a game with the headlines "Antonio Brown quits on his team" will get you 1 million clicks and views. So again, at the end of the day, who sells the money? Who makes the money? We do, the culture. But do we get to reap the rewards? Of course not. That's straight.
Back at it again, straight facts. We back with another topic. I got a question for y'all boys. To you, who is the most disappointing team in the NBA so far?
Lakers.
That's easy. Unanimous.
Is it unanimous?
And why?
Why is it unanimous?
Yeah, seriously. There's like 30 teams in the NBA. There's only one team
Yeah.
that's disappointing for you?
To me,
Yeah.
the most disappointing team in the NBA is the Lakers, for the same reason that you're going to say, right?
What is this?
No,
What's the
Lakers.
reason? So tell us the reasons, please.
Cameras on me. LeBron James, year 19, having one of his best seasons of all time, could you believe? The man has to put so much on his shoulders, it's insane. But he's done it before, right? Well, what's going on now? The Lakers are like bottom, they're fighting to be in the play-in. The Lakers are not where we thought they were going to be. Russell Westbrook is a loose cannon. Hello. Surprise, not really. But we thought LeBron James was going to overcome it. So, again, you have all these Hall of Famers on your team. You've got LeBron James, which is a top player in the game for so many years. And the team is in the midst of, not making the playoffs. To me, that is blasphemous. That is disappointing. And you could argue other teams, but to me, and I think we have our meetings of the minds, the Lakers are the most disappointing team in the NBA for these reasons. Correct me if I'm wrong, or add some arguments to it. I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
you're the voice, VP. You're the one in the
He was
industry.
laughing. I think he had something to say.
Go ahead,
I
VP.
think it's a good point. They're
Of course
right
they
now they're under 500. Also recently, they're just losing games
That they should not.
That they should not.
Exactly.
LeBron James is. I think you said he's performing great. I think he's underperforming.
You think so?
You ask me.
If I get it right, he's averaging 28.6 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, and 6.6 assists per game, with 1.7 steals and 1.1 blocks per game, and that's underachieving.
Yeah.
Shows you the greatness of LeBron James.
Greatness?
Yeah.
So don't greatness means that they can lead your team to victories even though you're not supposed to? Like, you're supposed to rally the troops with the players that you have, right? You're supposed to make them great. You're not always supposed to blame the fact that, you don't have Anthony Davis, but yet you still have a Carmelo Anthony off the bench, who's a Hall of Famer.
They do.
You still also have a coach in Frank Vogel who won a championship, right?
Yes, sir.
And you have a whole coaching staff that knows how to win.
Mm-hmm.
So last time I checked, I remember one time Kobe Bryant in 06 playoffs was playing with a bum squad that had a Kwame Brown and a Schmoosh Parker.
Shout out to Schmoosh Parker, Team
He
France.
took a Phoenix Suns to a Game 7. You feel me?
Yeah.
Kobe had less than what LeBron had, and he was still winning. So if we're talking about the greatness, the Lakers, to me, they're garbage. But to the question, what I would say is like the Lakers is for the West. For the East, I would say the New York Knicks.
The Knicks?
Yeah, because 100%.
The Knicks?
The Knicks were on that little rise.
A lot of Knicks fans that are
being
mad
back
now.
to the playoffs, promising they haven't made the playoffs since 2013. They was out there. They messed up against Atlanta. They had a promising squad. They brought back players. They got Kemba Walker. They did a whole lot of additions. But right now they're not even in the top 10. And there's no reason because the East is very weak in my opinion. There's only like 4 teams that you can really have to worry about. The West, the Lakers, they'll figure it out. COVID had messed them up, but in terms of what you have, like the teams that you're playing, I think the New York is the most disappointing team because outside of Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and Chicago, Miami, who else are you supposed to worry about?
I think, who's your most disappointing team in the East, since he brought it up? I'm curious to know what's your take, VP, on that.
Indiana Pacers is gonna be better.
You got the Pacers?
Yeah, they got they had a Michael Brogdon. They had Sabonis. They have a lot of great pieces, but it just seems like they're playing for the lottery right now. What it looks like.
It looks like.
When you watch their games, see how their season's going. With the roster they had when the season started, I really believe that the Pacers really are not achieving anywhere close to the potential that they can. Like, I'm not saying they should be a top 3 team.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't be at bottom 3 either.
Very well, you read the question. That was exactly the question. It's very well answered. There's no meetings of the minds for the East. I would probably say the Boston Celtics. They're a good team. They're supposed to be
With
alright.
a rookie coach, yeah?
With a rookie coach, but they got Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown.
Done so far as a coach?
But they've been together. Marcus Smart. They've got the type of players that usually do good in the NBA. Your long wings that can shoot threes, do a lot of things, be versatile.
Outside of Steve
Indiana
Kerr,
Pacers, sure, good answer.
Outside of Steve Kerr, name me a coach that took a team first time, joining the squad and brought them to success.
I'm disappointed. So I thought they were gonna overcome it with the talent that they have, right?
Okay.
I guess history again is undefeated.
Okay.
You mean like Nick Nurse?
Nick Nurse, what about Nick Nurse?
They are very disappointing, the Raptors.
Nick
That's what he's
Nurse,
bringing up.
you reminded me about
And yes,
Nick Nurse, yeah.
but Nick Nurse was on the squad though before.
Yeah, he was there with, so he's right. When
No, but you said first time as a head coach.
Well,
Yeah,
this is
outside,
true.
okay.
This is true.
Yeah, Nick Nurse.
Check this out. Find us on YouTube, Currency TV. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe, tell everybody about it, and drop a comment.